Day 3. The early morning shows what cold nights can be like here on the equator. Ice forms on plants that are in direct aim of splashing water. The Marengo route was designed as a 5-day route, which is too short for acclimatization and is usually extended to a 6-day trip. An extra day and night at Horombo, combined with a walk to the peak of Mawenzi, enables the body to adjust to high altitude.
We are going to have a acclimatization days, just a short days of hiking to the Mawenzi, but we don't go to the top of the Mawenzi because the top of Mawenzi you must use the ropes. And that day is very good for the body for the final days to the top.
This reduces the probability of serious altitude sickness and, as a result, increases chances for hikers to make it to the top. It is recommended to assist in the acclimatization process. So the hikers decide to spend this day heading up towards Mawenzi. The guide often says pole pole. It literally means slowly, slowly. As Kilimanjaro is not technically demanding, most people go too fast and may get into trouble acclimatizing. At the Zebra Rock, there is time for a short break. And this is the reason why they call it Zebra Rock, because it resembles zebra stripes. These cliffs are eroded lava flows. Even here, amongst these rocks, giant senecio found enough water to flourish. For the first time, the team break the 4,000-meter altitude barrier. Acclimatization is necessary to adjust the body to the decreasing availability of oxygen. It is a slow process taking place over a period of days. There are no specific factors such as age, gender, physical fitness, or previous altitude experience that correlate to altitude sicknesses. Some people are more susceptible to it than others. The group now enters alpine desert environs that are typical on the mountain in altitudes over 4,000 meters. Intense radiation and high evaporation inhibit the vegetation. Huge temperature fluctuations daily, sub-zero at night and over 30 degrees Celsius during the day, are not favorable conditions for plants to grow. Additionally, the scarcity of water and soil means that only the toughest plants can survive here. East Lava Hill is the remnant of a parasitic crater in the saddle between Kibo and Mawenzi, one of the many landmarks of Kilimanjaro's volcanic past. Flanks of Kilimanjaro are dotted by 250 parasitic craters like this one. The mountain is made of 3 coalescing volcanoes, Kibo, Mawenzi and Shira. Shira and Mawenzi are considered extinct and are remnants of volcanic cones that collapsed during their active history. Before collapsing, Shira, the oldest volcano, was the highest of the 3 peaks. The Kilimanjaro volcanoes began erupting approximately 2 million years ago. About 350,000 years ago, Kibo had reached a height well over 6,000 meters as a 2-kilometer wide caldera crowns its top, a result of a substantial collapse. Kibo's last eruption occurred approximately 100,000 years ago. Its summit inner crater is continuously emitting volcanic gases through fumaroles, and a strong sulfur smell prevails around its central ash pit. the origin of the Kilimanjaro is firmly related to the formation of the Rift Valley. 20 million years ago, tectonic plates began to move apart, forming the Rift Valley, which stretches through East Africa from Ethiopia to Mozambique. Upwelling lava began to form volcanoes along the rift. Kilimanjaro is one of about 20 volcanoes near the southern end of the East African Rift Valley. Also prominent in this belt is the Ngorongoro crater, a superb wildlife refuge. Oldonyo Lingai, an active carbonatite volcano, and Mount Meru, another sleeping giant. Further 700 kilometers west, within a western branch of Rift Valley, Virunga volcanoes have been formed. Present activity is focused upon Nyiragongo, a volcano built by lavas that are surprisingly liquid, and the craters are filled by lakes of restless lava. Another persistent lava lake sits at the top of the Erta Ale volcano in Ethiopia. Kibo is joined to the east by Mawenzi through a broad saddle 11 kilometers long. The weather on Mawenzi seems pretty threatening. Clouds rise in turbulent fashion, but disperse further on. Clouds also envelope Kibo. In contrast to Kibo, Mawenzi's summit is a steep, jagged peak surrounded by cliffs 500 to 1,500 meters high. What is left of the original crater is a great horseshoe-shaped ridge that opens to the northeast. Mile-deep gullies with 30 to 45 degree gradients make many places practically inaccessible. Massive series of radial and concentric dike swarm make up more than 30 to 40% of the summit area of Mawenzi. Ascending the Mawenzi slopes, the hike becomes a very monotonous scramble over volcanic debris and ash slopes in misty weather. The gentle lower slopes are becoming steeper and the hike is very tiring. The last stretch of the trek follows a rocky ridge. At these altitudes, shortness of breath is ever present. The altitude here is 4,600 meters. Arriving at Mawenzi Hut, the mission for acclimatization is accomplished.
Mawenzi Hut is camping. So people were camping there, and some people are sleeping here.
What is the altitude?
Almost this is more or less than 4,700. So it's almost 470, same as Kibo.
Mawenzi is very rugged, very beautiful from close. Climbing to the top, Hans Meyer Peak at 5,149 meters is very challenging and requires technical climbing using ropes and also a special permit. After a brief rest, the group decided, just for the fun of it, to climb one of the smaller satellite peaks of Mawenzi, not far from the hut. The hike back down to Horombo camp is much easier, which allows for more appreciation of the scenery and desert flowers. Back at the camp, porters begin arriving from Kibo Hut, the destination for tomorrow.
Thank you for watching. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing and ring the bell to be notified when we upload new videos. Thanks for your support.